Thanks for visiting Patient Weather today. I'm meteorologist Al Peterlin. I'd like to talk about the weather health stresses for April 7th, 2026. We do keep additional graphics available at tpatw.com. We also maintain a Patient Weather storefront on Amazon. Amazon purchases made through our Patient Weather storefront support the activities of Patient Weather. Looking at the surface map for Tuesday, high pressure will be dominant everywhere through the eastern half of the country, hanging over really Lake Erie, except for southern Florida, where that remnant cool front will hang, keeping unsettled weather across the state of Florida. There will be a new cool front stretching all the way from Bismarck to northern California. Its warm front will hang southeast all the way to Kansas City. There will be some unsettled weather here across portions of the Four Corners. A little bit of cooler and unsettled snow even with cold rain in the northern plains. Looking at our vitality index for Tuesday, we have some unsettled weather here in the Pacific Northwest, a lot of activity going on in the northern plains, and a lot going on down here in the Four Corners. Interesting. Divided into two separate sections from the eastern Four Corners to southwest Texas, and then another section of activity here in Arizona. Then jumping to the northeast, we have a massive amount of activity going on here in New England. Looking at the change in pressure, we have falling pressure across the northern Rockies, northern plains, Montana and Wyoming, from Nebraska to the Dakotas, and down here in southwest Texas. But we have rising pressure from Michigan into Indiana and Ohio, all the way down into Virginia, and everywhere to the north and east across Pennsylvania, New York, and all of New England. Looking at temperature change, a little bit of a mishmash here. We have some cooler temperatures coming across into the Pacific Northwest, but a lot of warm air trying to push on up from southwest Texas into Arizona, and then back up here in the northern plains, with interestingly some fallen temperatures here in the Texas and Oklahoma panhandle. Looking at dew point temperatures, it pretty well confirms that, although it's kind of interesting again with falling dew points here across Arizona, while it's rising in southern California and rising up through southwest Texas and up into the plains. Dew point temperatures falling post-frontal here in New England. Looking at the change in oxygen availability, lots going on besides the fact that we have pollen everywhere from Pennsylvania to northern California and all over the south. That's just an extra added insult. But we do have a migraine threat here in the Pacific Northwest, Washington, Oregon, northern Idaho, and western Montana. Note we have a migraine risk here in the Texas and Oklahoma panhandle. Another migraine risk in the inland portions of California, and then again a very significant migraine risk here across the state of Florida, and then up here in the northeast from Michigan, Illinois, into Indiana, Ohio, down into Kentucky, West Virginia, and back down into North Carolina, and then everywhere north and east, all the way across and up through New England. Note we have the risk of asthma and arthritis here in Arizona down to southwest Texas, swinging across into Louisiana and Mississippi, and then significantly here in the northern Rockies, northern plains, eastern Montana, down into Nebraska and up through the Dakotas, across into Minnesota, Wisconsin, and the Michigan Upper Peninsula. Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather. Your comments are appreciated, and if you hurt, tell us where you're located.